Hi, welcome to this episode of Millennial Pocket. Today we are going to be looking at the history of Facebook. Facebook is a social networking site that makes it easy for anyone to connect and share with family and friends online. Today, Facebook is the world's largest social network, with more than 2 billion monthly users worldwide. But how did it become one of the most valuable companies in the world? Let's take a look. Mark Zuckerberg began writing software before entering high school. Zuckerberg's father Edward taught him Atari basic computer programming, and when he was 11, his parents hired a software developer to tutor him. Within a couple of years, Zuckerberg created an incredibly practical program, ZuckNet, which allowed all the computers between the family home and his father's dental office to communicate. Later, Zuckerberg wrote a music player called Synapse Media Player that used artificial intelligence to learn the user's listening habits. He attracted interest from AOL and Microsoft that wanted to buy Synapse and give him a job. But he turned them both down and enrolled at Harvard University in September 2002. It was at that time that Zuckerberg built a program called Course Match, which helped students choose their classes based on the course selections of other users. He also invented FaceMash, a website that allowed Harvard students to judge the attractiveness of each other to create rankings. He didn't get permission to use student photos, and the site was later shut down by the school administration. With the risk of expulsion on the table, the board finally decided to let him stay. 3 of his fellow students, Divya Narendra and twins Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, proposed him to work on an idea for a social networking site they called Harvard Connection. The site was designed to use information from Harvard student networks in order to create a dating site for the Harvard elite. Zuckerberg agreed to help them, but soon quit to work on his own project with his friends Dustin Moskovitz, Chris Hughes and Eduardo Saverin, called at that time the Facebook. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss are today remembered for suing Zuckerberg, claiming the Facebook founders stole their idea for the social network platform when they attended Harvard. In the end, the twins won a $65 million settlement from the lawsuit. After his sophomore year, Zuckerberg dropped out of college to dedicate himself to his new startup full-time, moving the company to Palo Alto, California. During the summer of 2004, after they moved to Palo Alto, Zuckerberg had a meeting with a venture capitalist, Peter Thiel, who decided to make a $500,000 investment in the social network. This was the first outside investment in the company. In May 2005, the Facebook received more money, this time investments of $12.7 million from Excel and $1 million from the personal fortune of the venture capitalist Jim Breyer. In August of the same year, the was dropped, and the company officially became Facebook. It wasn't until September 2006 when the platform became open for everyone. Well, anyone over 13 with a valid email address. Facebook had now gone fully global. In 2007, Facebook launched Marketplace for classified listings about things for sale, housing, jobs and more. And also Facebook Developer Platform, a tool for developers to build apps for the social network. Companies like Zynga introduced hit games like Farmville on the platform, and by the end of 2007, Facebook hosted 7,000 apps. The platform was also looking beyond personal profiles to how businesses could use the site. That's why in 2007, Facebook launched Facebook Pages for Business. This change meant a big shift in focus towards business and advertising on the platform. In the early days of Facebook Pages, the engagement levels for businesses were high, but as marketers jumped onto the trend of Facebook Pages, the engagement started to diminish. In 2011, Facebook completed its big move from Palo Alto, California to Menlo Park. The social networking giant signed a 15-year lease on the old Sun Microsystems campus and renamed the ring road around the East Campus Hacker Way. 2012 is probably one of the most important years in Facebook's history. In April, Facebook made a major acquisition, Instagram, spending $1 billion. In May, Zuckerberg was finally ready to take Facebook public. The company was valued at $104 billion, starting at $38 a share. After the initial success of the IPO, Facebook's stock price dropped somewhat in the early days of trading. This led the Wall Street Journal to call the IPO a fiasco. The shares didn't get back to the initial $38 again until August of the following year, a full 16 months later. In 2013, Facebook launched Graph Search, a tool used to navigate the platform. With Graph Search, a search was made up of a keyword or a combination of keywords and phrases. The big difference between web searches like Google and Graph Search was that Graph Search was designed to take a precise query and give you an answer, rather than links. In the same year, Facebook announced Facebook Home, a new home screen experience for Android devices. The software was designed to be a drop-in replacement for the device's existing home screen. In February 2014, Facebook announced that they'd be buying WhatsApp for an incredible $19 billion. While Facebook already had a messaging system, this acquisition gave access to WhatsApp's younger user base and their overseas users. Come March 2014, Zuckerberg decided to invest in VR by buying Oculus for $2 billion. Facebook still thinks that virtual reality is going to be the gateway to working with a computer that you control with your eyes, which takes the promise of something like Google Glass and pushes it even further. Last year, Facebook made a major new push into e-commerce. The company announced the launch of Shops, a way for businesses to set up free storefronts on Facebook and Instagram. Online sales have been a bright spot for small businesses during this pandemic, and Facebook is betting that bringing more local businesses online will help them to endure, while also creating big new business opportunities for Facebook itself. Zuckerberg highlights the shift to smaller, more enclosed network activity and away from public posting. More people are turning to private messaging in groups, which Zuckerberg says will continue to be part of the company's future projects. He also points to the capacity for Facebook to give people better ways to build their own businesses and facilitate common tasks. This aligns with Facebook's efforts to facilitate on-platform payments through its cryptocurrency Libra. Zuckerberg also touches on the future of digital connection through AR and VR, areas where Facebook is already investing big. Facebook is already working on its AR-enabled smart glasses, and its Oculus VR platform is steadily advancing. Imagine if you could live anywhere you choose and access any job anywhere else. That's one of Facebook's biggest goals. Facebook has come a long way since its humble beginnings in a Harvard dorm room. The giant social network currently has more than 56,000 employees as of September 2020, an increase of 32% year over year. Its market cap has more than doubled since the end of 2016, with the company valued at roughly $785 billion as of March 2020. What are your thoughts on Facebook? Do you think there's still more room to grow? And would you invest in it? Please let me know in the comments section below, and leave a like if you get some value from this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.